Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to NS9LIVE. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, of course, we have Ty Ty. And guess who is not with us tonight, Ty Ty?
I am shocked
What are you shocked about?
that it's, you know what, like Will Smith said, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
That's right, baby. And we're going to try.
We're going
I don't know
to.
if we're going to make it, but we're going to try. But how you doing tonight?
You know what, man? Like, I was doing well. Like, I had this plan in my head, like, upstairs, I'm going to set up this little podcast area. Well, as we all know, life happens. You don't get a chance to do all that. And then all of a sudden, when you think you have the chance to do all that, winter hits. And now it's freezing outside. I don't want to crank the heat to sit upstairs and freeze. Trying to set that up. I'm like, I'm not going to sit up here. That's not happening tonight. So I went back down to my bedroom, tried to reset everything up, which caused a giant delay of an entire 8 minutes, which I'm sorry, people. 8 minutes is a lot. But hey, we're back on it. I am
Really
actually
took
here,
advantage of
unlike
that
some
ish,
people.
that 9-ish.
But I really want people to hone in on one portion of what I just said. I'm here. Some people are enjoying nice weather in another country.
Yeah, that other country part, Jim's in the Dominican Republic right now, getting swept away by the ocean. But this is good. This is good. He's gonna be gone for like a week and a half. He will be on Starbucks apparently for next Monday, but I think he's gonna miss NS9LIVE again next week also. So good news for everybody. No Jim Rosati for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're gymless for a little bit.
Yeah, very good. Very, very good. So happy New Year to us. Happy New Year to you guys. Let's celebrate 2025 with a bang here. But hey, busy day today, actually. You know, I mean, for like not a whole lot to talk about in Pirates world. We're blessed today with some things to talk about because today's kicked off the international signing period. Hey, Pirates made 23 signings today. Unbeknownst to me, because I thought it was capped at 9 the last I checked. And then good old Ethan Houlihan, who's awesome. Because I tweeted out something about the bonus pool money, and he said, I think it's all used. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. I thought there would be some left over. And then we look on Bucks on Deck Substack. Kudos Anthony Murphy, who was on here, Starbucks, talking about this upcoming international signing period. When you look at their site, there is now 23. With it appears 2 more remaining to be signed soon. So Pirates had 23 signings today, used up their entire bonus pool. So there's some of that to talk about, I guess, to some level and degree, Tyler. Outside of that, the major league team, they got a new reliever.
They did. Yeah. Say his name for me again.
I think it's DeGus.
DeGus? Is that what we're going with?
I think it's DeGus the bus. The bus DeGus.
Well, DeGus, he might
taking the bus down to the minor leagues.
DeGus, the Pirates signed him. But
yeah, Ben Cherington struck a deal with guess who, Tyler?
DeGus? No, the Toronto Blue Jays.
The Toronto Blue Jays. The only team out there that is available to make trades with. The Toronto Blue Jays. Yes, he was DFA'd recently, and Ben Cherington swooped in. Cash considerations. They got a reliever.
They did.
I don't think we got to spend too much time on him. I'm going to say this, and I'll let you have your piece as well, as I think you're looking him up right now to find out what you're going to talk about him. That's how low we're going with this. But yeah, I'll just say that. I don't know much about him either. I mean, it's just like, okay, he has a knuckle curve. He's a cutter. I mean, maybe this is something they can work with. You know, I've touted in time and time, and that's why Caleb Ferguson, I know he had like a down year per se, but I enjoyed the signing because I figure he's someone that the Pirates can turn around and make into a productive reliever once again. This guy, it's just a guy to me. It's whatever. It's now 39 men on the 40-man roster. He's here for now, I guess.
Yeah. I can't complain about anybody they sign, especially when you're talking about a reliever right now, man. So in my situation, just being me, we all know me. Tyler's gonna poo-poo on pretty much everything, and for the most part, look, I'm a negative person. I am who I am. I'm going to probably think that people are going to stink if in previous years they've stunk, or if I don't see anything intriguing about them. Where I will give Ben Sherrington a slice of credit would be in the bullpen. I do think he's done an okay enough job of acquiring some of these guys that there might be something intriguing about them, and I'm going to use the word intriguing there just to throw it back to the
Love
old
it.
nine days.
Love it.
Got to drop that again. In regard to, I guess, or DeGus or DeGoose or whatever his name might be. Yeah, he's been essentially terrible. He's a late 20s reliever. Honestly, if this wasn't a Pittsburgh Pirates podcast, we probably wouldn't talk about him because there's not another Major League podcast on January 15th talking about some minor league reliever. That being said, I've said it a long time, man. That's where you make your money. That's where you make your money as a GM. You get guys like DeGus, DeGoose, whatever the hell his name is, and you make them competent major league relievers. Can the Pirates do that with this guy? I don't know. Maybe. I think if you look at it, his sinker got crushed last year and the year before that. And basically everywhere he's ever been, his sinker doesn't work. So maybe this organization looked at that. And I think if there's going to be a benefit of the doubt given to this organization in any means, it's going to be with pitching. So maybe they saw something with him. Maybe the four seems a move there that we shift him off to sinker. I don't know. I haven't seen him pitched ever. But maybe there's something there underneath everything. The knuckle curve seemed like it worked relatively well. He's a guy with a decent pitch mix with pretty decent velocity. We saw him get up to 98 last year.
And he has a lot of pitches too.
Right. So like there's a mix there. I'm not going to say he's going to come in here and be a middle reliever or anything like that, but there's an opportunity for a guy like him you make one flip of the switch and it clicks. Like we saw with Ryan Barucki. I hated him. It worked out because they did find something. I
certainly said my piece before he officially was on the team, but to your point, yeah.
So I don't want to crush him for it, and obviously we shouldn't crush him for it, but I'm not excited about it. And I don't know if anything jumps off the page, but maybe.
Right. That's where I'm at. Like, I'm not going to just pick this apart and be like, oh my God, this is a terrible move and blah, 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 whatever. It's just like, it's a move. It's whatever. There's 39 on the 40 man right now. It's cash considerations they traded. It's like they gave up to some money with Ethan here, put $100,000 for it. Also, by the way, Ryan, shout out for the membership. Thanks a lot. It is what it is. It's just, again, like this, he could be gone. He could essentially be gone when they make a couple moves and they find out that, you know what, he's on the bottom of the totem pole, move off of him. But again, like you said, to your point, Tyler, this is a team who has been able to find some diamonds in the rough. You point out Barucki. Barucki's a good example of that. Even last year, Dennis Santana, and like someone with a Caleb Ferguson signing, and this isn't out anyone, but I saw someone make a comment on our IG page for that move. And I was like, well, if their pitching coach couldn't change Caleb Ferguson, I can't imagine the Pirates being able to do it. And it's like, well, I mean, Dennis Santana was actually that prime example. He came from the Yankees. He came over here, and the Pirates were able to unlock it and have Dennis Santana was the best reliever in that bullpen, basically from like his third appearance on. And it wasn't just like because, I mean, the bullpen was bad, but it wasn't just because the bullpen was bad and he was the worst of the terrible. He actually was good. So, there is some really good examples. Those are just two of them where the Pirates have taken on a player who's a castaway and has turned him into a useful piece. I go back to the Orioles and talk about the Orioles time and time again, how they built that bullpen, right? Just nothing but cast-offs until they got Kimbrel, of course, who ended up being a cast-off now. But like, it's how your point. Like, that's how, as a GM, that's where you make your money. Here's a guy, the thing about him opposed to like Ferguson or others that have come here, like you said, I don't really see anything that jumps out on the page either. To say he's an old, like he's 27, he is a reliever, just making the majors, like that's not totally a knock either, because a lot of relievers kind of do that.
They do.
But it kind of just shows like what he is. I mean, he's been with the Dodgers, with the Diamondbacks, the Royals, Seattle, Toronto, Miami, 3 teams last year in total, and now the Pirates. So that is something though too. Like he's been with a lot of teams. It's not like any other teams are able to lock anything. They've all moved on from him. So like that's a little bit of a knock on him, right? I mean, he's been around. It seems like nobody actually really wants him. So here he is now with the Pirates. We'll see what happens, but whatever. I'm kind of here with Crosby, 87, who said it a while ago. Not to find his comment, but that's probably enough talk about him for today.
Yeah, I think I gave everything I had with him.
Right.
He's a person. And
Right.
I mean, hey,
So,
if you're a person that can throw 98 miles an hour, you're a dude.
Right.
So hats off to that fella. Like being able to throw that hard. Congrats. You made millions of dollars.
for sure. But before we go any further, BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from football to NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC. BetOnline is the #1 sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, enough the reliever talk, right? Good. Let's move forward.
I'm good.
We do have a fun show, and we want to include everyone on this because PiratesFest is coming up here this weekend, and we are going to do this live, Tyler. Actually, we haven't discussed it. Are you doing it live? Are you going to share your screen? Or am I?
What am I doing live?
We're going to submit a question to PiratesFest on. We're all going to think tank this through. We want you guys to participate. With your help, we're going to come together, one or maybe even two questions for PiratesFest to see if they get asked. So
maybe 3.
We're here for you guys. On behalf of North Shore 9, we're going to think tank some questions to ask the fine folks at PiratesFest. But before we do that, let's go ahead and talk a little bit of the international signing period. So as mentioned, the Pirates signed 23 guys, well, kids, and they gave out some decent bonuses. You know, this is something I've been seeing, like this trend for the new regime. Back in the day, it was just spread it out. Just bring in like 40 to 50 players, give them all 20, 40, 100,000, 200,000. You know what I mean? Like you're just spreading out the wealth, signing a bunch of players, see what happens. Now they had some success with that. So like you give it to them. But I know back in the day, it was always like, why aren't they out there? Why aren't they trying to get the top guys? Again, you can argue both ways, which is beneficial. It's all a crapshoot for the most part. You're dealing with 16-year-olds, you know, like there's a lot of variance in a 16-year-old's projection. But with that said, it seems like this newer regime, it's not that they're getting like top 1, 2, 3 guys, but like they're hovering around like the top 10 and bonus pools. You know, like they're not getting the top, the cream of the crop, but they're getting higher end talent. I'll say that. And then today, you know, they signed 2 guys in the top 20 bonus pool money. So like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like what's your initial thoughts just overall, if you really have it?
So it's hard to have like any thoughts about any of the talent that was acquired. Obviously, they're going to be thought of as highly touted. But you do mention the way they attack the international free agency. And I don't know about you, but personally, I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to go about any of it. Because I think we saw Neil Huntington at one point. He attacked the higher end talent. Like we saw Luis Heredia come in here and he got paid a lot of money at 16 years old. He stunk.
Mm-hmm.
He was terrible.
Right.
We've also seen them spread the money out, like you mentioned, where you try to get as many guys as you can in. I don't think there's a right or
Marte.
Right. So that's where I'm going. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to any of it. I think it's more about who are you? Find out who you are. Are we good at developing talent? And then if that's the case, if there's one area of development that we can attack, maybe it's a Starling Marte where we found this guy that's super athletic. We can teach him to play baseball. And truthfully, they did that with him. Or is it, you know what, let's go after the higher end stuff. We know we can get maximum level productivity out of them. Maybe that's it. That's a lot of it is what method or what area is your front office really good at? I don't know if we have that answer for the Pirates yet because we haven't seen it.
What we have seen is they're just bad no matter what it is recently.
So are you better off spreading out that money and then maybe we go after a certain skill set we're looking for, or let's go after the higher end talent because we need to bolster up this prospect list and this organization? I think that's a team to team type of thing. And I think people get into a mindset of, well, the Rays are doing this, the Dodgers are doing this. It doesn't work for everyone. Like they're different organizations are good at certain things.
Right.
The problem is that I don't know if the Pirates have figured out what they're good at yet.
Right.
That's the problem. It's not that they're not going after these guys or they're not doing this. It's that they haven't figured out how to be good at doing what they're doing.
Yeah, that's for sure. And again, like I won't attack either side. I don't have an opinion either. Again, for the most part, because it is very much a crapshoot. I mean, you see guys. I mean, the most notable I can think of in my head is like Victor Mesa back in the day with the Marlins. That they spent their entire bonus pool on him essentially because that was a top guy from Cuba. Like this is the can't miss international prospect. Let's go out there and get this kid. It was like 5 point something million at that time, which like the largest, you know. And he never reached the majors. I don't think. Just a complete bust. And he spent everything on this guy basically to get him. So like you run in that potential where like you have a finite amount for your bonus pool money to use how you want to do it, you know. And again, you're talking about children essentially. This isn't even like the MLB draft. These kids are high school going into college. You know, this is like 2 years even before that. This is 16-year-old, not an even 18-year-old, right? You're talking about like sophomores. How many sophomores out there are you confident of drafting and saying this is the future of our franchise? Right. So like put that in perspective, and especially with all the sly comments that are made, which again, the Pirates have created their bed, right? They live in the environment they've built. I get it. But every team is going to sign a bunch of these kids today, you know, and every team is going to see a large failure rate. So do you fail on the 23 they got today because you use a large portion of the top 3 guys, right? 2.4 million for De Los Santos, Johan De Los Santos, brother of Yordani De Los Santos in the system, which again, like that's one that stands out, but he stands out for the exit velocity. He stands out for like the raw tools, but he hasn't really put it together yet. And then Daryl Morrell, that we talked about. He was the one that the Dodgers were going to sign for $100,000. Pirates scoop him up, 6'5" shortstop. They give him $1.78 million. The rest of the bonus pool they had to do so. And then Gabriel Rodriguez, $900,000. Like those 3 right there, pretty solid bonus amounts, you know? But that's 3 guys. If they don't amount to anything, and again, it's 3 guys. The odds are one of the 3 probably isn't going to get, De Los Santos 2.25 even says. The odds are one of the 3 is probably not even going to make it. So, like, yeah, do you maybe just go for like, hey, let's just get 50 guys in here and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, that's back to what I'm saying. You got to figure out what you are good at. And I think in the Pirates case, they found a way, and you bring it up all the time. They found a way to be effective developing pitching, or at least getting them notoriety in the prospect ranks of this is high level talent. They've done well with that. So is that the avenue they need to attack? Maybe, but at the same time, they have to find a way to do it hitting wise as well. And we haven't seen them do it on the hitting side. Well, I mean, at the major league level since Polanco. Like they haven't really brought in a international free agent that has made the majors. And I guess Castro maybe.
Well, he made the majors.
Yeah.
But like that's not still like that. You're not
right. So
you're not riding the success of Rodolfo Castro, unless you want to say, hey, we got Bailey Falter out of him.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what you're looking at there. And what do you guys do well? What's the area you're going to attack? What can you teach well? I don't know if they've identified that yet. And we're
Right.
on year freaking 6, and they haven't identified that yet.
Now, also to kind of be fair, there is a revamp. There's
There
new
is.
people in charge. So like this is their opportunity to start anew, right? Now, unfortunately or fortunately for that person, you don't really get to reap the benefits of this until like 5, 6 years down the line, typically. So you're not really going to see the success of what happened today until probably like 2030. And that's just the name of the game. But
Dude.
it doesn't mean like this shouldn't happen or like whatever. It doesn't mean anything. Like this is how you build a lot of talent. Like the Juan Sotos come from here. The Vlad Guerreros come from here. You know, like this is where you can have the ability to sign and get really good talent in your system from day one, as long as you can develop them, right? If you can have the eye to gain it, you can develop it, right? You can get some really good talent. You know, back again, like Stalin Marte, that's where he came from. So this is a very good way of, especially like smaller markets, or even also like successful smaller markets who are not drafting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 in the draft, are able to get some really good talent that other teams maybe not able to do so with. So yeah, like this is meaningful. It's just unfortunate that the Pirates haven't been able to capitalize on this way of acquiring talent. So again, it is what it is. As far as the guys that are there, I mean, De Los Santos and also him and Morel, however you want to say his name, we don't really know yet. I mean, 2 shortstops. That's another thing I wanted to kind of point at too. Like, yeah, I understand there's a lot of shortstops, but it's going back like the MLB draft thing as well. Like your high school kids, they're shortstops. You probably want them to be. Like the most athletic kid, your best baseball player in high school is probably a shortstop, right?
Every day.
Okay. So let's kind of put that the rest too. It's not that they only acquire or target shortstops. I mean, that's where your best player is playing at. Your best player is probably not playing in right field.
I would venture to guess that 8 out of 9 guys that will start for the major league organization next year probably played shortstop in high school.
Boom.
Aside from the catcher, well, 7 of 9.
And that might have too.
Kick out actually the pitcher played shortstop for sure.
Right.
Like, well, no, Paul Skeens caught. Never mind. But you know what I mean. Yeah,
you're probably a catcher, a shortstop, or a center fielder.
You played up the middle.
That's it. Right.
So yeah, I'm not sign every shortstop available because they're probably not shortstops for long. And normally it's kind of labeled enough that they're not going to be a shortstop, but don't put much thought into the position of it. Again, we're Pirates fans, man. We just want people that can hit. Find hitters. Find dudes that hit.
Well,
and hey, if some of these guys hit, there's a spot in this major league organization in 2034.
And if by chance there is not, I promise you they can be trade capital and they can be traded to get other things that you might need if there for some reason is not a spot. Or again, they could be trade capital in 2 or 3 years from now. 4 years, you know?
That's the weird thing people don't get about prospect lists is that people talk about it doesn't matter because they're going to suck when they get to the majors. If you're smart enough, you trade them whenever they're in the minors.
Look at the Padres.
That's the prospect capital.
There you go. There you go. You really just need them to be good till they get to like AA. That's really what you need them to be for.
And you need to grab them before they're good in AA.
Yeah. But anyways, so again, there's 23 guys. We don't know enough about everyone. Like we're not going to deep dive into these players and such. But again, they had like a decent mix. It wasn't the top tier, but I think it was the number. I think De Los Santos. Well, actually, could have been more because the bonus that he ended up getting. But I think it was like supposed to be like about the number 9 signing bonus, and Morel about 20th. So again, they got some upper echelon tiered players. Wasn't just middle and lower. But then after that, Gabriel Rodriguez also pretty much. But then after that, they kind of split it out a little bit. They got another kid from Uganda. I'll say that, an infielder. So like they're tapping into the Uganda market potentially.
Sure. Hey, I mean, there's
find them
talent
where no one
everywhere.
else is looking, I guess, right?
There's talent everywhere.
That's right. So yeah, so that's that, I guess.
It's hard to really give an opinion on any of it.
No.
Anybody that does give an opinion, like a legitimate opinion, you might want to question it.
Well, I mean, I won't say that. There are people who are paid to give opinions on them, and they're going to. But I'll say, like, anyone who's probably sitting in the seat that we are, that's probably
Right.
hearing the name for the first time this year. Right.
Even
And again, they're 16 years old. The opinion right now doesn't hold too much weight. Let's get them over to the States, and then you can really start honing in on like what they are. Right at this point in time, you're looking at like projectability and just skill sets, and
99% of people have not seen any of these people play baseball.
You know, a good way of putting it. Here's probably the best way to summarize these signings. Almost everyone you look at, it's scouts are split on if this guy's hit tool is gonna. These scouts say he's gonna bat 300. These scouts say he's gonna flame out in single A. You know what I mean? Like everyone's just so mixed on this because again, the variability on these guys, it's just it's so young. There's so much time left for them to develop to do what they need to do to be a major leaguer at 16 years old.
Right.
So again, put some perspective on it. Hey, this is how you flood your team with talent. This is a good way of doing it if you're successful at it. Again, you look like the top 20 war leaders as far as hitters go, and I think there's about 10 of them that came from international signings. So, like again, put some sense in this. I mean, this is where a lot of talent is. This is how you can get some really good talent. So it's good. It's a good thing. You just got to capitalize on it.
So go ahead if you're getting worked up about any of this, which I don't think anybody's getting really worked up over it. But there are people out there, and they're probably not listening to this, to be honest, because we have level-headed people in the chat right now.
Yeah.
We got
everyone
smart
that's
brains
listening and watching this right now.
But for those, if it's their first time tuning in and you're all worked up in here thinking, and we're going to be in here ripping the Pirates about the international free agents, remember this. Add 6 years to your age, and that's when you will see them as a major leaguer if you're lucky. It's really like you're going to forget they exist. If they sign them at 16, you're not going to see them till they're 22. I will be 37 if they're good enough to make it to the major leagues.
All of us right now.
Just acquire what you can.
Can we form a prayer circle? Let's all hold hands. Okay. Let's form a prayer circle. By the time, right, like you said, 6 years from now, by the time these players are of age and becoming major leaguers, can we have seen the Pirates make the playoffs?
God, I hope.
Please. Because I don't want to last another 6 years for these kids to come up to be talking about the new wave and the new crop. And well, this is the rebuild that's going to do it. So let's all, everyone watching now, everyone listening on the podcast, right? Even though this is after the fact, your prayers still count. By the time that Johan De Los Santos is approaching the major leagues, because hopefully he is, the Pirates would have gone and made the playoffs. Amen. All right. Let's continue on the show. Bucka Mike says, I'll be 70. That's why I'm crying, because I'll be 70.
37.
Anything else in regards of like actual Pirates news and thoughts to talk about this week?
No, I mean, it's a lot of offseason left. There's a lot, but not really.
There is
off-season in less than a month, don't they?
That's a fact.
There's not that much.
Left. There isn't.
There's really not. I keep saying that in my head. There's really not. There's not much off-season left. So essentially,
there's
what I'm
enough
saying here
for what they need to get done to be done. And like last year's shows, like they still made a lot of moves after today's date.
Right.
It's just that again, like there isn't really a lot of offseason left anymore. Tai.
We
are a month away from pitchers and catchers reporting.
Yeah,
the 12th.
What is it?
The
Okay,
12th.
I was
Today's
thinking
the 15th,
13th, but yeah,
less than a month from pitchers and catchers reporting.
Yeah, we're not far away. But you did just mention, like, from what they did last year, they added a lot around this time. I expect them to add a decent bit of Major League Baseball players within the next 3 weeks. If they don't, we're going to have fun in Bradenton.
Well, we're gonna have fun in Bradenton regardless.
Oh, I'll lose my mind.
But yeah. Which, by
We
the way,
might.
good plug. Hey, we'll be back in Bradenton again, February 22nd to March 1st. NS9 will be in Bradenton. I believe Sunday. I don't remember. Sunday and Friday are home games, and I think Wednesday and Tuesday, or Monday and Wednesday, or I don't know. There's 4 home games though.
I know there's 4. I don't know what days.
Right. We will Sunday and Friday. I know those days. And then there's a Braves, and I think Twins.
There's a split squad in there at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But 4 days during that week, we will be in Lecom doing our pregame show once again. So if you're going to be there, come have a good time. We'll be there with you guys too. Let's all say hi.
I promise
I'm
not this mean in person. I promise.
Yeah. And like, even if you are, like, no one should be afraid.
I'm just a little bit prickly.
Yeah. He's just like a chihuahua.
Basically. I'm more like a pug. I just...
Yeah. Actually, you're like a pug.
Yeah, I don't bark.
Low energy.
Yeah.
Just grumpy.
Yeah.
You're a pug. But yeah. So I guess there's a little plug. We'll be back in Bradenton. I can't wait. Fully excited about that once again. So yeah. There's still some time, but it is starting to run out. And they've signed Caleb Ferguson and Spencer Horwitz.
Yeah. Hey, there's time. There's time. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm not doing it yet. I'm not doing it yet.
Yeah. Ethan, were we at the payroll?
77 million. I just read that earlier.
There's still time.
There's still time.
It went up $200,000 today.
Whoop.
There's still time. All right. So yeah, there's nothing else we really want to talk about. We want to get on to PiratesFest.
Yeah, about international free agents. I mean, wait and see game. It's what it is every year.
All right.
It's fun time.
That was a good cap off that discussion.
That's what I do.
So PiratesFest is this weekend. Now, what I think is kind of funny about this year's PiratesFest, I mean, they brought it back. It's been back now for some years, right? There's some excitement. It's cool. A lot of stuff going on. PiratesFest is a good time. I've never personally been to one in my life, but like it's a great event. I definitely encourage them to continue to do it, right? It's a great way to having your fan base, especially kids coming out, interacting with not even just, other fans, but players, and seeing them and the autograph sessions. They have all kinds of events and stuff. That's just a great thing for the community and your fan base to have, right? So it is back there. But I will say this year is maybe a little bit different because, Tyler, there's also going to be a protest. You're going to have the duality of Pirates fans literally right there while an RV show is going on also. So I'm interested in what this year's Pirates Fest is going to be because, again, it's still Pirates fans. Like, you open the show, we talked. I mean, we're all Pirates fans. We understand our nature and how we are. But last year there was no actual protest. This year there's going to be a protest. We'll see what scale this protest is, but there will be a protest while fans are there enjoying themselves with Bob Nutting and Ben Cherington and whatever player is going to be there also. So yeah, again, this is going to be kind of interesting. And our very own Cody will be there also. So Cody will be there. He'll be taking some footage, doing some content. So we'll find out what's up. But yeah, Pirates Fest this Saturday.
It is. It's both Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I should probably go.
You should go.
I probably should go.
Get our little pug out there.
I don't like people. Kind of hate them. But anyhow, Pirates Fest is going on. And we did have an idea because they are allowing us to submit questions. And I feel like North Shore 9 should submit at least 2 questions, and we should see if they get answered. And this brings me back to why I should go is we need someone there to verify it's been asked.
Yeah.
So we will need the chat's help here while we develop some questions.
Yeah. Fully agree. Fully agree. So here's where we think tank. Let's go, everyone. Go in the chat. What questions do you want to ask? What do you think we should ask on behalf of North Shore 9?
A lot of pressure on you guys.
So again, like I'm kind of interested, like where would you want to go with this now? Again, if you had one question you wanted to stand out, you said you might be there. So
I might.
If the you know, I don't know when the last time you would have ate, you know, I mean, stand there for a little bit of time, the pug's going to get a little angry, little grouchy. You know, you have one question you want to ask. What would you ask them right now?
See, I have a broken brain, and my immediate response is to go to the office and just go, "Why are you the way that you are?"
That's a good question.
I really do think I go back to.
I'm not putting that comment up. You know who you are.
I go back. I do. And I don't know if we'll ever get an answer to it, but what are they looking to identify when they're looking at talent? And I know that's a question that will never be answered. And Denardo's going to read the chat because we got a Bucko Mike question that will not be shared.
I'm not doing it, but I'm still laughing at it. All right.
And of course, you got a chuckle out of me and Denardo as well. But in all reality, like the questions that I would want to ask are things that they could not answer. So this is why I need more creative brains like the chat to, you know what, just give me a little more than like, why do you suck so bad? Or what happened to 2024 being the year you were going to compete? Actually, that's my question. What happened?
What happened at 2024?
Yeah,
I mean, that's a very valid question.
Why? What happened? You did nothing. Why?
We're not even so much entertaining this year, where you could have a very valid reason to talk about.
Why should I believe you're going to compete
and
this
why
year?
haven't you done what you need to do this year? Let's go back to last year.
Right. Why should I go buy tickets to this year when you told me you were going to try to compete last year and you did the exact opposite? Why? Sell me.
I think that's a valid question. So what faith?
I got there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about 24. And here's the thing too. 2024 is essentially like where they had to answer like those questions. And you know, we do intend on going to playoffs. So now we're back. Let's revisit this. You were talking last year about playoffs. What happened? I think that's a really good question. I want to know what happened. Why? If you were going for playoffs, why didn't you? And who do you think holds some of that responsibility if you're not being there? Did you not do enough to prepare yourselves to get there? Do you think the offseason, right? You didn't do enough last offseason to do it? Do you think it was solely that there was underperforming? Do you think, people's developments, like what's the sole reason you guys felt that you weren't even at least a 500 team last year, let alone playoffs? That's fair.
Yeah, we're in year 6. A 5-year rebuild means 5-year rebuild, damn it.
Right. Rob wants to know right field. Why do you hate it so?
I mean, I think you could ask every GM that the Pirates have ever had about that.
Yeah. Since about Clemente.
Yeah, it's been a black hole for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
Honestly, that right side in general has been a black hole forever.
I know her. First off, Stratman. Stratomatic player? If so, thumbs up. But Stratman says a good question could be, why are you Jagoffs here and not Nutting? Which, of course, assuming Bob Nutting won't be there, and that's why you're asking that question. I think Bob Nutting's always gone though, hasn't he? Hasn't
He's
he always
usually
been there?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
usually there.
I thought so too.
Question. How dare you? Another Office reference we have in the chat.
Question. Yeah. How dare you? Rob says, does Hayes exist? I think, you know what? A valid question could be like, what is the status on Brian Hayes? Like his injury. Do you foresee the back issue still flaring up? Do you think it's a maintenance? Do you think it's like what's up with Brian Hayes' back? And what do you truly envision for 2025? That's fair.
How you doing? Because he's a giant question mark going into this year.
Mm-hmm. So, you know me, right? I like to be silly a little bit. And we're going to have two questions. I think one should be serious and one, not that it's not serious, but, very team-centric, team-focused. The question I want to ask, and I think this is building up some steam. And I know someone talked about, and not to give him credit, but Fort did talk about this, and it's kind of been in my head. And then I think more and more people, Bucko Banner, I think, talked about it on The Point. I think both of them actually mentioned it, if not one of them. I want to see a pirate ship.
It was Bucko Banner that mentioned that.
Mm-hmm. Because the Ferris wheel on the bridge.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I want to see a pirate ship. How can we make that happen? Because you know what? It doesn't seem as if you guys are too entertained by the product on the field to entertain us. So can we be entertained elsewhere? As you built a fine ballpark. Love to go to that. Could we get a pirate ship? I would love a pirate ship with like a cannon, like a true. It doesn't have to shoot out a cannonball, but a working one like the Bucks games, right? The Tampa Buccaneers.
What if you have
Can we get a pirate ship outside of there? Because like that would be dope.
How about instead of the Bucko Blast over there in the right field, with the amount that we're going to go ahead and donate to charity, which ends up being like nothing because they don't hit enough home runs, we just shoot a cannon with a number every home run.
With a number,
it lights up a firework.
Smoke?
It lights up a firework of like 19, 20.
So it's
we mix in Zambelli fireworks and the pirate ship.
Yes, Tyler. This is why we do a group thing. Like the pirate ship was sponsored by Zambelli. You don't even have to pay for it now,
and you get a Zambelli firework all the time. Hopefully,
probably not.
You get it more than once a week.
You do probably.
Maybe.
We've talked about the roster. But there's a possibility that you get it more than once a week. And all I need is that possibility to sell to Zambelli's to build us a pirate ship. Sponsor. We've already taken down the pirate charity sign, so we can put your sign up there.
The Pirates Charity Bucko Blast. Boom.
Sponsored by
North Shore 9.
Zambelli Fireworks.
Wow.
And then after everyone that goes out, you see a firework that makes that number.
Yeah.
We got the hearts, we got the hourglasses, we have all the full cool stuff. We'll get us some numbers.
Can't be that expensive. Figure it out.
Yeah, just figure it out. I mean, it probably can't be.
It probably really isn't.
It's a firework.
Like people are.
I mean, the structure is probably going to be something decent. I mean, I want it to look kind of nice though too. So the structure will be, but again, it's an investment. It's an investment.
Oh, next question, or next thing that I would like to present. Can we? This would be a question to Travis Williams. Can we find a way so that gift cards for Permane Brothers can be used in the ballpark?
I think that's a Permane Brothers question, to be honest. But
well, Travis Williams is a deal maker. Make it happen.
Brokerage this. Yes.
So that when the Buccos win, we all win when we go to the games.
That's right. Actually, yeah. We should find a way to make that happen.
Yeah, let's make it happen. We got
because we're here for you. When you win, We're bringing people to the ballpark, which in turn also is making many brothers win. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah, everybody wins.
It's a win-win-win. It's like
And then
acquiring Greenland. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah. And then after all that's done, why don't we just kick Fort, Rob, everybody out of the post-game studio, and that's our post-game spot.
I'm with it.
Yeah. Scooch.
Yeah, we should use Permania Brother gift cards at Permania Brothers at PNC Park.
Yeah, agreed. So add that to the list of questions.
What other questions we have? Ethan says he can't even use Pirates gift cards in the ballpark. Which I think, yeah, it's right. So you know what? Let's start there, actually. For Ethan. We're doing this for Ethan. We're going to start with the Pirates gift cards. We will wait until 2026 Pirates Fest to talk about Permania Brothers.
Do we have to?
For Ethan, we will.
Ethan, I'll give you
us with some really good information.
He did.
He calls us out all the time so politely. This is for Ethan.
What if I give him a $25 gift card so that we can just skip over his suggestion?
No, Pirates gift cards, which also that's
dumb,
silly. Right?
Yeah, silly.
You should be able to use Pirates gift cards at the damn Pirates Stadium.
Yeah.
All right. Another question. Gift cards.
Add it to the list.
What else? What else do we want? And again, we are going to submit 2 questions. Swear to God.
Oh, we're just submitting them.
What others could we talk about? Yeah, new Travis, new food items this year. Is there maybe a specific food item you like to see this year?
I don't know after last year because I had that pierogi pot roast, that monstrosity they had. I don't even remember the name of it.
The Bucko.
I can't remember. I have no idea what the name of it was. But I know, Donardo, we had a lot of beer that day. It was good, but it was good because we had a lot of beer that day.
Honestly, and listen, you know this firsthand, and I'm sure people have heard me talk about this. Pierogies are trash.
I love them.
Straight trash.
You're trash.
That was good. The mixture of all that, it blended together so well. I was expecting this thing to it didn't look good either. It looked like it was just thrown together and just, whatever. To me,
the Renegade Dog.
Boom. The Renegade Dog. Yes. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I would absolutely go get another one. Absolutely.
We searched that entire ballpark for it.
If you see the pictures that are floating around on the internet with me eating it, you can tell I like the dog. Thanks, Captain Chris from the Renegades of Rotunda.
I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong. The bun needed more structure. The bun was tough to deal with. In all reality, when you picked it up and you got a bite of everything, it was good. Structurally, could have been better. Just my complaint.
Oh, I mean, I agree to that, but I'm going just off taste, and that tasted magnificent. It was starving. Good. Yeah, but it was good.
No, it was good. The pot roast was very good for a ballpark pot roast. Of all the places I'm going to eat a pot roast, it's not at PNC Park. It was good.
Right. Now, Mark says, so, hey, give a little plug, I guess, here. Mark says Pierogi Plus and the Rocks will change your mind.
I'll give it a whirl.
There's that.
I love a good pierogi. Love me some pierogies.
Questions. Bucko Mike says nobody wants the Renegade Dog. Again, I'm telling you, I thought it was stupid when it came out. I was like, this looks terrible. Those things do not, that doesn't go together. A pierogi and a hot dog also, it's just so much. But the flavors just mixed so perfectly.
Yeah, it was very good. Just structurally, it could have been better.
Yeah. All right. Well, doesn't look like we're getting too many more questions here.
Well, let's workshop them here.
But I think we are going to ask about 2024 for sure.
Yeah.
That's to me golden, good question. Maybe the pirate ship.
I think a pirate ship's a
Mine's
good
a plan
question.
B, waiting for something else to get better.
I think a pirate ship's a good
The
one.
gift card, I think, for Ethan, again, that's a real valid question. I think that has a merit. I think that's above mine. I think Ethan's gift card, Pirates gift card to the stadium should count. But yeah, we'll get some questions to bring him up here. But also we'll cut this off here too. I mean, we got some time. We did ask our Discord for some mailbag questions, just because we don't have a whole lot to talk about as far as the actual stuff we've been talking. And hey, you know what? Let's answer some of you guys' questions. You know, we don't do mailbags too often. So we'll kind of hit these pretty quickly also. So Nosler 2020 says most realistic trade targets that make sense. Ooh. And I'll kind of kick this off. Like, we've kind of talked about this time and time again to a degree, but like Yastrzemski in San Fran, Taylor Ward in LA. But like, the other teams have to be willing to trade away them, and I'm not so sure if they are, the way they're maneuvering here this offseason. Tampa, I'm not so sure they're looking to trade people away now, which is also kind of weird. But also in that aspect, like, Tampa doesn't have a stadium, and they're going to play in a minor league ballpark all year, so it's not like they're going to bring in a ton of revenue in that sense. Not that they do. But what I'm alluding to is, even Tampa is not really dumping a whole lot of salary, and they don't have a stadium. They have to rebuild an entire stadium, and they can do this. But anyways, like, when it comes to trade targets, because you say realistic, like, I really don't know at this point. There's the guys that we've talked about already in the past, you know, Luis Robert also, right? But it takes two to tango. And I think for some of the teams, I don't know if they're really truly interested. And what's also funny is the Giants potentially rumored to, they're talking to Grichuk. Like, they could also be bringing in more. And that's what's kind of sad. It's like the Pirates might not have a trade partner or free agents to get. So that's my dumb way of really not answering your question.
Yeah, that's the sucky part. Like, I can't really give a name, because all the names that you would think are openly available, they're not really Pirates targets. Like, Spencer Horwitz was definitely not a name that you would put on the Pirates radar. I don't know if anybody had ever heard of him, really, other than maybe outside of MLB The Show players.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the Pirates and their trade targets, you're probably looking more into that range. You're looking for controllable guys. Like, it would be perfect to get like a Ryan McMahon. Sure. To get a third baseman that would be really good to replace Brian Hayes in a perfect world. Yeah, that's great.
You could also play around a bit too.
Right. Is that going to happen? Probably not. You're probably looking more like a Horwitz type of guy, and I don't have one on top of my head that you can go after. But there are some guys maybe suppressed by depth that might not be obvious trade targets that they might go after. But if we're looking for a splash, I don't think that's coming.
Right. And again, it's not just to harp on the Pirates, but the teams the splashes would be coming from outside of Luis Robert. I don't know if they're that interested or motivated to trade those guys. Like, there's talk and rumor about potential, but the Giants, I mean, the Giants are solid. They're good. They're linked to other people. I mean, they're not looking to like totally rebuild, though. Yastrzemski is 1 year left. Maybe they capitalize on that. Like, maybe they bring in like a Grichuk to kind of replace him on a 1 year deal, and they can recoup some of the back. So like, maybe he is somewhat available. Taylor Ward has a few years left, but like, are the Angels going for it? Are they not? Like, no one really knows. There's been a lot of talks. I know during the winter meetings, there's rumors that his name's been popped up around a lot. So, you know, there's smoke there. With the Diamondbacks, there's a couple guys that potentially you could like look to acquire, but the Diamondbacks, are they going to be willing to? Do they want to? Doesn't look like Texas is really motivated to. I mean, they're still building up. Toronto, I don't know what they're doing. They seem to want to add, But then today I'm hearing rumors that like the Mets have offered this package for Vlad, but they're also on Roki. Is Roki going there if they're also dismantling? I don't know. But again, like personally, I don't think he's available. But like I would love. No, literally as I'm going to say his name, my mind went blank. The center fielder came for the Diamondbacks. Catcher, center fielder traded for Moreno.
Varsho.
Yeah, Varsho. Like I would welcome Varsho on this team.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's going to be available. But he is a Blue Jay. If there's going to be one guy that then will target, it's him.
You know what? Good point. Who they're going to go after? Just pick a Blue Jay.
They just pick a Blue Jay. So yeah, I really don't know. It's tough. It's just there's not a whole lot of pickings right now. Next question: odds of Cruz or Skeens, and this is from Nolan G. Odds of Cruz or Skeens signing a contract extension with the Bucks, even if it's just to buy an extra year or two after ARB.
Skeens, I think, is an absolute zero. No chance. I think there's not large. I think there is a slight chance you could get O'Neal Cruz. I don't think it will happen, but I think that it's more likely for O'Neal Cruz to sign some sort of deal that it's not going to be anything long term, but might buy out some free agent years, maybe a year or two, maybe with an option after a year. But I would also say it's less than 10% max.
I disagree with that. I'm not saying what I'll say to that is unless O'Neal just doesn't want to, because then like that also takes two to tango. And that's why I think the Paul Skeens one won't get done, because like I'm here telling Paul Skeens, if Paul Skeens is watching this, you're dumb for signing an extension. Like honestly, you're gonna go through ARB quick because of obviously there's no super like what happened last year gets you to a free agent quicker than most people, right? Especially in the Pirates org. You're gonna go out there at a prime time. And obviously if health is out there, the way he can probably project, he's gonna be one of the most paid pitchers in baseball history at that point in time. Like he'll be breaking whatever record is at that point in time to break as far as free agent contracts, for a pitcher. He has that type of potential, and it's a pretty safe floor to get there. So I don't think there's any reason for him to sign an extension unless he just really, really, really wants to be here. And he says, you know what, let me get some certainty here. And like Nolan said, buy out 1 or 2 years and then hit free agency, because it's still going to be pretty young and hit free agency if it's just 1 or 2 years, So, but again, I don't advise him of doing that. And I want him to be here. With O'Neal Cruz, I think there's absolutely a chance. And the Pirates have, it's a different regime, but the Pirates have definitely shown a willingness to lock up players and, especially hitters. So I think there's an absolute possibility that O'Neal Cruz is locked up, because here's the thing too, after Reynolds and Hayes, like who are you locking up? Who are you signing?
Sounds like that's more of a problem that they don't have enough talent to sign. But
well,
in regard to Cruz, you're going to be looking at his age. What are you looking at? Age 31 season, roughly, whenever he's hitting free agency. Buying out maybe 31, 32. He's a center fielder, big body.
He's a free agent in 29.
So he's what, 26 now?
So he is 26, yeah, as of October.
How long was 2029? 2029 feels like it's 10 years away, but
40 years.
Yeah, so it'll be 30, like turning 31 is free. So yeah, I mean, I guess like still in the prime there, but we're talking about a guy that really hasn't done it over a course of a year still. And if you can get him at a discount because of all those reasons, and it's a new position, maybe something more long-term friendly to him. If you can get it done, I think you absolutely take the shot on it. I just don't think he signs anything.
I think I think those two parties can absolutely tango.
I would
I think a
actually,
deal could be done.
I actually am curious about Stratman, who just put in the chat that the midseason move from shortstop to center field didn't help with the potential Cruz signing. I'm actually curious why he thinks that, if it didn't help in the Pirates' favor or in Cruz's favor, because I think he might end up more valuable in center field.
I could assume he wanted to stay at short, so it doesn't help him. But ultimately, I think everyone, even us, the biggest proponents of him staying at short, when he's available to be a free agent to sign somewhere else, he's not going to be a shortstop then.
Right. But now if you move him, if he turns into that 5-6 WAR player that you think he can be, you're certainly not helping him, because now he's going to get defensive WAR.
That's true. Okay. Another question. Who is the starting? This is from Brian. Who is the starting right fielder for the Pirates on opening day?
Who are they playing?
Marlins in Miami.
Who are they going to start?
We don't know yet.
I'm trying to think who they have that they would start. Probably looking.
They're all hurt.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know when Sandy's coming back. But they're all hurt.
I still feel like it's going to be
Be
Jack
Max
Slawinski
Miles.
out there. I think it's going to be Jack Slawinski playing right field.
I'm going to say that person's not on the roster yet. And if I have to pick somebody, because I should, because saying that's the weak way out, it's Alex Verdugo.
Could be Randall Grichuk. I would be a lot more comfortable if that was his choice.
There's a market for Grichuk.
There is.
I'm just saying, I'll keep that. I'll go back. Slick says, what Pirate does Donardo want to play Fortnite with the most? Yeah. So that's a good question. So yeah, I do still play Fortnite. I've been playing OG mode a lot when I do. When I'm not kicking all your asses in college football. Just to say that real quick. I do still play Fortnite, playing the OG mode. Brian Reynolds plays a lot of Fortnite. We know that. We also know Jared Jones and Thomas Harrington play Fortnite, because one of them taught the other person how to throw his fastball, and he got really, really good at it thanks to Fortnite. So also, for those not going to be playing Fortnite made Jared Jones who he is today. It's the fairest way to put it. Who do I want to play Fortnite with, though? Man, I don't know, because honestly, like, a lot of these Pirates are boring. But I do want someone who's good. And I have a feeling that Jared Jones is also good. And I feel like he's fun. Like, I feel like I have a good time playing with Jared Jones. And I feel like he'd be pretty damn good. So, and he doesn't like losing too well. So I want to hear the Jared Jones crash out when we lose.
It's a good one.
I want all aspects of this. Like, Brian Reynolds is going to, like, if we win, he's like,
Nice. Good job.
and that's it. And we lose, we go,
All right.
But Jared, I want to get that on stream.
You know what? Brian Reynolds is the one that will get off after a win. He'll end on a heater.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, listen, I told you a hard stop at 9. Got to get the kids to bed.
Yeah.
Got to, hard stop.
You win a game, he's the one that will jump in and be like, all right, I got to go.
And that's the thing too. Yeah, I guess I'm not even starting at 9 o'clock. Like, we're going to hop on 11. I feel like Brian might be in bed.
That's why Brian Reynolds is probably my choice.
There you go. It's Jared.
But in all reality, like, real, like, Josh Palacios is up there, I feel like. He'd be a good one.
You know, the only reason why I didn't say Josh is I've kind of poo-pooed on him a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you might. Well, I mean, that might also be fun. Who knows?
It'd be good content.
Yeah.
it would be good content. Because I'm waiting for the time where, I die and then he just totally shits all over me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, who's mid now? I can't let Joshua Palacios be better than me at
No.
Fortnite. That's the problem I'm getting to. Because if he
Yeah.
is, I'm cooked. All right. Next question. Favorite type of cheese?
Parmesan.
Yeah. This is tough for me though. Parmesan, absolutely fantastic. There's just cheeses go with so many different things. It's like, for what?
I didn't even think about it. Parmesan.
That's up there for me. But I love a good provolone. I love a good provolone.
It's so plain, like it.
And Tyler, you get a nice mozzarella ball.
Yeah, like a.
But Tyler, then you go to the Mexican restaurant and you get the queso dip.
Yeah, you get the Oaxaca.
There's no right answer.
Yeah, like you get that quesadilla cheese, like, and you get that pure white cheese that's just it's close to mozzarella. But if I'm coming down to my nitty gritty of my favorite cheese, it's Parmesan all day long because I can do so much with it. I can't. It's not a topping for pizza. I get it, but it kind of is. Like, it's a garnish on pizza.
You still put it on there.
Yeah, but I call it more of a garnish. It's in the basil category on a pizza.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, like it's not. It's
not the cheese,
right?
But it is a cheese that will go on there.
Parmesan, I would compare it to bacon. It makes everything better, but it's never the main star. That's a great comparison that I just did.
I don't know. I love cheese. I would welcome it to be my star.
And mozzarella is obviously my number 2, and the main reason it's my number 2, and it creeps in on number 1, it really does, because of cheese sticks. Cheese sticks are fantastic. Yes, and that's why mozzarella, it's so close. And you know what? It's so tough. This is so tough because mozzarella, when you get them in those pearls and you get the mozzarella ball, that's legit. And then when you get the mozzarella, you get it like over the crusty bread with the little balsamic. That
you like want to go down
oil,
this route, Tyler?
Like that's good stuff. Mozzarella might be pushing Parmesan.
Now I won't put this above it, but you want to go down this path? You're talking about like the mozzarella balls, whatever.
I do.
Hot pepper cheese.
Hot pepper cheese.
You're getting a good hot pepper cheese ball.
Hot pepper cheese balls,
oh, buddy.
Those are good. Those are good.
Hot pepper cheese is also very, very good. Just eat it on like a cracker or plain, because I like it to be my star.
But at the same, like even like pepper jack, I love a good pepper jack.
Yeah,
love a good pepper. You know what? Cheddar is overrated. I'm just gonna say it. Cheddar is overrated.
It's good.
It's overused.
Good. But I feel like that's fair.
It's fine. But nobody's going to the grocery store and buying that bag of shredded ched.
Well, I do.
I do too.
Yeah, we all are.
But it's going to waste. I'm not using all of it. Yes, I am.
It's the super utility guy.
It is. But if you're making like a flatbread at home or something, you can't use that cheddar. Mozzarella, let's just say you're making some tots in the fryer. You want some loaded tots. You could use mozzarella. You could use whatever you want. Cheddar, you basically can only use that as something for loaded things. Mozzarella, it's very versatile. Nobody wants a cheddar stick. I'm very passionate about cheese.
I think we're at the limit. If you don't count the international signings, we've talked about cheese more than the Pirates.
To be fair, Pirates. I have been talking about cheese for a long time in my life.
I feel like we can go longer, but let's cut it now. Let's move forward. Let's move forward.
Blue cheese. Asiago, underrated. Gouda. Love a good Gouda. Swiss, great. Swiss is awesome.
I hate Swiss.
Great on a Reuben.
Hate Swiss.
Swiss.
I will substitute that all day long if I can.
See, like provolone to me, it's like cheesesteak only. I'd have no other use for it. Maybe on a sausage sandwich, but very, very niche. I think I'm done with cheese for a minute until I think.
Okay.
Also, smoked cheddar better than regular cheddar. Continue. Love a good smoked cheddar. Smoked habanero cheddar. So, yeah.
JDG22 says, what's the bigger reason they cannot get a free agent to commit to more than 1 year? They don't want to play for the Pirates or the money being offered?
I want your opinion on this because I have a thought on it that I feel like I've shared a bunch of times.
I don't think they want to. If you want my opinion, I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to commit. And I don't understand if it's where they're currently at. Like, if you want to make sense of it, if you want to say on Ben Cherington, this is why I don't want to do it, it's because you believe in these other guys coming up still. You know, like, I don't want to block the list of players to go down the list, you know, because they are the future. So let's get this guy in here who could play well and produce, and then that guy comes in. And again, like, there's the weight of that contract. There's the whole financial point of view of this. You know, 1 year, fix it for now. Next year, we still have these guys. Or I think it's them. I don't think it's so much the players don't want to. I don't think the Pirates are wanting to go multiple years. I know they entertained it last year, but it seems like it's got to be a very, very specific person. They don't shop at that section of the store.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. Like, they just don't want to do it. They don't want to go 2 years on anybody. And I think it's kind of a peek through the window of their mindset where it's year over year. And they don't want to commit to anything right now. Unfortunately, it's another sign of kicking the can down the road. That's what signing 1 year deals is. You're not committing to competing right now. And you can compete right now by doing 1 year deals. You absolutely can. It's not beneficial, I don't think, to do it that way, but I think that's the method they've set on because I don't know if they believe they're ready to compete yet.
Yeah. All right. Back to cheese. No.
Cheese.
Last question then.
What do we think about Gouda?
This comes from John, which the font is all funky, so I assume it means John. Given the prospect depth at pitcher, rumors of a trade this offseason, his contract increasing to about $17 million. Is Mitch Keller on the Pirates opening day in 2026?
2026. So we're talking another year away.
Next year.
Obviously right now it's too early to say, but if I am forced gun to head, I'm going to say something right now. I think he's not. I don't think he's here in 2026. I think at that point, a lot of things will happen, and keeping him just won't be on the table at that point.
I'm in the same boat as you. Gun to my head. I have to make a choice. I'm going to say no because I think there's a lot that can play into the fact of him getting traded, opposed to not. I believe, just like he said, like I believe in this pipeline also. There's Paul Skeens. It's a big part of that pipeline. Paul Skeens is already there. It's going to be pretty cheap. There's Jared Jones. There's Bubba Chandler coming up, who could also be very, very good. The potential of that being a 1-2-3 punch that could match up with a lot of teams in Major League Baseball next year is there, right? It's not a non-existent thing. Like, that potential exists. You know, if it's always going to be Paul, but if it's Paul, Jared, and Bubba, or Paul, Bubba, and Jared, you know, I mean, Bubba has that potential to be better than Jared Jones. And if Jared Jones, like your number 3 pitcher, at this point in time, what we believe in him to be, like, that's pretty good. Then you have Thomas Harrington coming. Johan Oviedo coming back. There's real potential in him, what he could be. Like, there's a lot of pitchers that you have a lot of depth, and it's quality depth that we talked about. And they're going to be in a very similar situation next year as far as payroll goes. There's really not going to be that much of an increase next year. It's not like you have probably about the same starting payroll next year as you did this year for the most part. You'll have some increases because of arbitration, right? But then also think about it, like, you're losing IKF. He's coming off the roster. It's pretty much the same roster. Like, it's not as if like Reynolds is really increasing or Hayes is really increasing. You're pretty much in line, right? So it's going to be about the same. But again, it's about the same. Do you see that much of a difference from this year's lineup to next year's? Hopefully some people break out, but like, you might have the same issue because also you're not signing multi-year deals. So even if you do sign like a Verdugo or a Grichuk, like, that person's gone again next year. I think you kind of find yourself in a similar situation. And if you already have the depth, and the depth has proven itself, which I think is very capable of doing, then Mitch Keller is your answer once again, which they've entertained it to be this year already. Now, they didn't do it, at least yet, this year, but I think there's a real possibility next year that is entertained and maybe come through fruition. That, you know what, we still don't really have the bats. Our pitching is really, really good. So with or without Mitch Keller, our 5 can be solid. Our 7 or 8 can be solid. Let's shed $17 million and get our bat that way. I'm with you.
Yeah, and if I can just real quickly expand upon it, I think it goes one of two ways. Either the Pirates have a bad season, which we obviously hope they don't. At that point, you almost have to trade Mitch Keller because at that point, Ben Sherrington's gone. You're looking at close to what's going to be another rebuild. Part 2 is that they do succeed, and then you're going to have to move some money around. Mitch Keller is going to be the obvious source of that money, along with a few other guys that you can move to be able to go get a impact type of bat.
Yep.
The only way he stays really is if they win like 82 games, I feel like.
Right in the middle.
Where they're just right in the middle, and it's like, we're close, but we're not quite there, that we want to move him. I feel like
it's weird.
Bad or good, he's gone.
Like, if the Pirates have, what you're saying is kind of true, but it's funny to say it, but like, yeah, like, if the Pirates have a really good season, that probably doesn't play into his favor, because they have a really good season. It's probably because Jared Jones became that dude. Like, he definitely did. Bubba Chandler came up and he's that guy. And again, it's like, well, do we really want to allocate 17% of our payroll to this guy who, you know what, Bubba, who's getting paid $700,000, is doing the same thing or better?
Right.
Oviedo's back. Like, we don't need you. We don't.
Right.
So let's trade you to get something that we do need, because we now have this hole at shortstop because IKF is gone, or however they deem to want to, utilize that for. Right field again, potentially, be catcher, could be first base again. Like, we don't really know. It could be third, right? So like, there's a lot of possibilities that things are still not working well on the offensive side. And Mitch Keller is your answer, unless they decide to keep him and trade someone like Jared or prospects. But again, do you do that, or you just trade the guy who's making $17 million? You keep the cheap guy, trade the guy who's making $17 million.
Right.
You were reaching. Are you putting it up?
I'm trying.
I'll do it.
The computer's not working.
Shout out to Rob for the 5 memberships gifted them. I appreciate that, Rob. What were you doing? All you have to do is push a button.
It wasn't clicking.
Anyways, yeah. Shout out to Rob. Thanks, my guy. So that was pretty much all the questions, though.
Yeah. Time to write that question. Those questions.
Time to write our 2 questions.
All right.
Do you have it up?
Heck no, but I can.
Oh, so are you doing it live on air, or are we gonna?
Oh, let's do it live on air. If
Okay.
I can work my computer, as my mouse is not working very cooperatively.
You gonna share it too on the screen?
Working on it.
All right. Don't ever let Ty do anything.
Well, Ty had some issues with his mouse that he can't figure out.
You're the most boomerish 30-year-old
Oh,
I've ever met in my
I'm
life.
31. Thank you very much.
Ever. We're
I'm
late
not
every week almost because of you, because you couldn't get this to work, couldn't get that to work.
Well,
You couldn't push a button. Now you
am-
can't even bring up your internet browser.
I'm not joking where I tell you my mouse is not working right now.
Oh my God. What's the site?
MLB.com/pirate/fan/PiratesFest. Nailed it.
Wait, Pirates/fans?
/PiratesFest. All right. What is happening with my mouse, people? Someone in the chat, have you ever had the experience where your mouse will not work?
No, because they're normal adults.
I swear, I must have hit a button on this computer where the mouse just won't move unless I click in on it.
This is so dumb.
I need someone smarter than me to fix that. I tried to Google it. It wasn't working. That's the site.
What are we doing here?
Keep going.
Submit questions?
There we are. Oh, good. We get to submit underneath North Shore last name 9. Or should we do it all under Bucko Mike?
We will ask his question and we will submit it under Bucko Mike. What? Jeez. You know, we should do this when we started.
Well, Jim's not here to have the PowerPoint up for us.
There. Who are we asking this for? We're asking this for Ben, right?
We're asking this one for Ben.
Oh, only
And we want to
Shelty?
know why we should believe in 2025. Well, Penn wants to know, or Penn would ask them to start Jared Triolo at third. But why should we believe in 2025?
You're not going to expand upon that?
Am I allowed to use words?
I'm waiting for them.
Chat, this is what I deal with constantly. Why should we believe in 2025 after we were told that 2024 was going to be the year that the Pirates compete? And if anybody else in the chat has a politer way to say that, please fill us in. Do. I love that we get to watch you try to type.
I'm under so much pressure. Anything else?
Also, it's that organ from Holy Grail.
What's that?
That was the next comment. Nothing. Continue. I was going to add in there Nick's question of whether this team could exist without firework nights, but we already figured that one out with the pirate ship.
All right. Is that everything then?
Yeah.
Cars. Oh, no.
I would. Please screw this up. Please screw this up.
Well, those are cars. All right, I'm going to submit.
What? Are we being censored?
What the?
They just censored us.
Hold on. Wait a minute. What was fans?
MLB.com/pirate/fan/PiratesFest. I think. They just put up there that you are not able to ask a question. You.
What I'm going to do.
They won't let you ask a question. Did you put 2016 in as your date of birth?
I think that's probably why. I didn't think that really was going to matter. All right.
No, a 6-year-old cannot ask.
So let's try this again.
Penn says 6-year-olds can ask questions, and they do. Well, they can't ask the Pittsburgh Pirates questions.
Wait, what was it again?
In here. Well, Melman in here is asking, why should we expect different results this year when the team is operating the same as last year? Which is basically the question we were asking here is, why should we believe in 2025 after we were told that 2024 was going to be a year to compete? As Leonardo leaks his phone number to everybody.
That's our phone number.
Oh, okay. I can't see that far.
All right.
All right, let's watch him do the robot thing again.
Let's try this again. Boom.
We got a question through.
Submitted.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Also, shout out to Penn for being a new member, which not really new, just re-upping. So appreciate you, Penn. You've always been
appreciate
supportive.
you.
Appreciate you. So we got that question.
All right, that was my question.
Let's try.
Bring on the next one.
Do we have to?
Just run it back.
I guess, yeah.
Run it back. All right, what do we got here, people? What was the earlier? Oh, the pirate ship.
This is for Travis then, right? No. We're doing the gift cards, right?
Oh, yes. Ethan with the gift cards.
We're doing this for Ethan.
Ethan. Yes.
Let me use my gift card, damn it.
Yeah, why can we not use the gift card in PNC Park? What are you adding?
I find this very frustrating. Ethan sounded very frustrated. I want to make sure we get his tone across also.
We should.
And Ethan's about his business. So come on, Travis.
We're doing this on behalf of him.
Right.
So these are Ethan's words.
Yes. And through those words that were texted through a chat onto our stream, I could just hear the frustration in those words.
I could too.
So yeah. So why can we not use our Pirates gift cards inside of PNC Park? I find this very frustrating. Send. I do not want to receive commercial emails. Send. Boom. Those are 2 questions. So we're going to find out. I don't know how. We won't. At some point,
we will find out.
If anyone's going to be there, listen to these questions. We ask them. I'm curious too, like if they pull them, are they going to say North Shore 9?
Right.
Oh, that's going to be funny, hilarious, and sad all at the same time. All right. So yeah, we asked the questions on behalf of you all. So you're welcome. Hopefully, Ben, and Travis can get us those answers, and we can find out why. And it's a good question, a fair question. Like, why should we feel different about this year? Ben can tell us why and his reasoning. And then for Ethan, and I'm sure many others, right? You got all your holiday gift cards in the mail or and your presents and opening them up, and you want to go to the ballpark and use them. We'll see if we can make it happen for you. Yes, as Matt says. So vent your frustration by liking the video. If you like the video, we promise. Read the disclaimer. All promises aren't valid. We promise that they'll answer the questions. All right, Todd. We've this has been terrible.
We spent an hour and a half on a show. We had no idea what we were talking about.
Are we done with this? This is just
we're
awful.
Good.
I feel so bad for everybody.
I love you all.
Not really, though, because
we're all sickos.
We started the show like telling how smart our audience is, but clearly this proves the opposite. You're all idiots. You're still here watching or listening to us. You're dumb, but we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, we love you guys. We love you guys. This was good. This was fun. A little bit
guys,
a little off the wall. Hopefully, go ahead.
You guys are a mixture of parm and mozzarella.
Ooh, that's a good combo, by the way.
Great combo. It's like a 4-cheese blend.
Right. But hopefully, as we move closer to the end of this offseason, we'll have more actual stuff to talk about. So there it is. Yes, as Penn says, we're idiots on the North Shore 9. We're out of here. We'll see you guys later. It's been an hour and 32 minutes. Jesus. All right. We'll be back Friday for a Sicko Sound Off where you idiots get to talk. This is just terrible.
This is
no, for real. All you sickos, right? You want to get out your frustrations. You want to talk about whatever it is. This Friday, we'll be live again, 8:00. You guys can come on. The way to get on, to ensure that you do, be in our Discord. We'll have the contest. I guess I'll have it up tonight, actually. We'll have the winner tomorrow selected. So that way those 3 members get to go on for Friday show to talk their stuff. So we'll see you guys then on Friday. We're back later. And then, of course, for all those at LeakCom, we'll see you guys live in person the end of February. So with that said, we appreciate y'all. We really do. You're really not idiots.
Kind of are. We are too.
But we love you. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Peace out, Scouts.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.